Hello, awesome people! I hope you're having a great day today. Today we're taking a look at the next short story in the Tales of the Lovecraft Mythos collection that we've been doing a deep dive into since it's the October that I dedicate to the Cthulhu Mythos, and these are stories that were inspired, that are in the Cthulhu Mythos, and are key stories, as well as some things that were inspired by Lovecraft too that aren't in the mythos proper. There's a section in this that's on those too. So we'll go ahead and get started. The next page in this is called Fane of the Black Pharoah. It's published in, it's 19 pages long. I read it last night in about 45 minutes, 50 minutes or so for you folks. It's written by Robert Bloch, who was a big name in the horror field with some of his novels after he left the Cthulhu Mythos behind, and some of his Pulp Era short stories with a lot of his novels, many of which became very, very popular horror movies later on in a few decades. In the 60s and 70s. And so he's a big, big name in the horror field. He's probably the biggest name in American horror among the people that were writing at that time in the Lovecraft Mythos. He's one of Lovecraft's compatriots. They wrote a lot of letters back and forth with each other and so forth. And so he was a big name back then. This short story is published in 1937, the year that H.P. Lovecraft unfortunately died very early for us folks. This is in the Cthulhu Mythos. Again, that I dedicate to October for you folks. It was that got started with H.P. Lovecraft writing a lot of his things and keeping them together from one short story to another to show that they would all stare in the same world. Like, for example, the book The Necronomicon, in a short story called The Call of Cthulhu in the late 20s. It was where he sort of put it all together, created the character of the Cthulhu that the mythos is named after, and that's sort of the big concept and so forth. So this short story was inspired by a short story line, basically a throwaway line, in a short story by Lovecraft in the mythos called The Whisperer in Darkness, which we've reviewed for you a few years ago in the October that I dedicate to this channel. And that was a sequel to Robert Bloch's short story 2. And then Robert Bloch will write another sequel to The Whisperer in Darkness later on that's more popular and more well known with fans. But this one is so basically there's a character in that short story called Nephren Ka, who is a Black Pharoah who lived in Egypt a long time ago, and he turned Egypt into some evil ways so badly that he was stricken from the written and pictorial records. So he doesn't exist anymore in the records. That's how bad Nephren Ka was. So that's the throwaway line, and Robert Bloch's like, ooh, I want to find out more about that. Enter this 19-page short story for you folks. So what do I think about it? So as a reminder, my reviews are spoiler free, so I won't be doing a deep dive. Basically, in the first couple pages, there's this Egyptologist who's living in Cairo. He is reading and doing some deep dives into the Nephren Ka myth. Who is still lived in dark whispers here and there, and then he is approached by somebody who is somebody who says that he knows a lot about what's happening and so forth, and he will talk to him, and that's about 2 or 3 pages into it, so I'll leave you there, and I'll let you finish the rest of it for you folks. I liked it. I thought it was fun, but you can still tell that Robert Bloch is more in his earlier era and so forth. So it's fine. It's well written, but it's not the best thing that I've ever read by Robert Bloch either. So I'm giving this probably like a 7 out of 10 for folks. But it has a sort of an energy and a verve to it that I think some of the later works will lack for folks. So that urges a sincerity to it. I like it. I think it's a fun ending. It's a dark short story. So there you go. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10 for you folks. As a reminder, this channel's name is The Worst Thing About New Books. That's a quote by a French philosopher, Jacques Joubert, who said that the worst thing about new books was that they kept us from reading the old ones. And so an older work like this that was published, like 90 years ago in 1937 is a key part of this, passion of this channel for you folks. I'll try to find this for you for free online. The copyright date ended in 1928, so you can find all those things for free in America stuff. But this is 1937, but many things just weren't renewed, and so they're for free. So I'll check and see if I can find it for free online. But if not, I'll still link you to the Tales of the Lovecraft Mythos for you folks. So that way you can go ahead and follow this along with me. And a deep dive that I was doing in college when I picked this up, and I read it then, and I've read it again for you folks. So there, that is Fane of the Black Pharoah by Robert Bloch. So there you go. Have you read it? If so, what'd you think about it? Let's talk about it in the comments below. If you want to talk about spoilers or the ending that I liked, Let's do it too. If you agree or disagree with my 7 out of 10, let's talk about that too. If you enjoyed this, why not hit that subscribe button? There's going to be a lot more of these to follow. And then finally, I want to thank you so much for taking some time out of your day and investing it in watching my channel. We all have so many things that are happening in our lives, and we're pulled in so many different directions. So the fact that you spent this time with me is incredibly humbling, and I appreciate it. So thanks again, and have an amazing day.